Hey there, YouTube. Week's over. It's almost the weekend, and I can't wait because this is the first weekend of college football, of which I am a big fan. So, yeah, I have plans to take in a couple of games tomorrow and just enjoy the first weekend back. But thought I would finish off the week talking about what I've learned on 10 years as a mostly raw vegan. Yes, mostly raw vegan. I need to say that. I still forget to say it in every single video because if I don't and I mention cooked food just stray, sometimes somebody will be like, "I didn't know you ate cooked food." I don't eat a lot. But anyhow, what have I learned in these 10 years? I'll tell you one thing. I've got just kind of a hodgepodge of notes down here, more just so I would remember some of the things I'd come up with that I wanted to say, but the one thing I'll say is it's a solo journey. It really is a solo journey, and I think that's why I've made it as long as I am, and I feel as good as I do, because there's just so many differing opinions out there. You really have to be discerning on social media and just the internet in general, watching videos, what you consume. And you just got to make decisions for yourself, and there's a lot of BS out there, but there's a lot of BS out there in everything. Social media is just like, sometimes you have to take a step back and look at it like with fresh eyes, and you're like, I think 85% of the people saying stuff on social media are crazy. It's just extreme. It's extreme, and that's what sells, and that's what gets more followers, and that's what gets more views. It's the reason I've never been interested in that kind of thing with my videos, like making, a very controversial title or calling somebody out, which I don't care to call somebody else out. I've just really, like I say, I came to this lifestyle because I'd been a drunk for 30 years and had abused my body. I was starting to really worry about, I knew I'm smart. I knew what some of the possible things that I had in my future that if I didn't make some lifestyle changes. So I came into this with a serious, trying to avert some serious health problems, and really hit home this week. I found out that a classmate of mine died. I probably hadn't seen the guy since high school, but died of liver. And man, that hit hard because that could easily have been me, 30 years. But I've just tried to look at everything, apply it to me, see what feels right with me, and like I say, I make the decision for me. I'm not making a decision, or I'm not doing something so more people will follow me here. I'm not doing it so somebody will be impressed, or I'll move up in the chain of raw vegans and I'll be more pure and more clean. I don't remember how long into my journey of eating like this, living like this, that I start really just realizing you got to focus on your nutrition. Or for me, listen, and like I say, what else? However anybody else does this is their business, but I'm pretty much going to keep making my decisions and use the same process that I'm using. And I feel like just a lot of people don't get enough variety. They don't get enough they don't meet their nutritional needs. Because they're just too I just eat this, I just eat this, I just eat this. Guys, I eat a lot of fruit. I probably don't eat as much fruit as back when I was in the tropics. I eat a lot of greens. I really try to focus on the greens. Big salads, green smoothies, lots of green vegetables. I like the sprouts too. Lentil sprouts. They have been a big part of my nutrition for a couple of years. But also too, it's just you have to, restricting never came into my world. I just wasn't about restricting, except in the very beginning. And in the beginning, I wasn't restricting consciously. I was just I didn't realize how much we needed to eat, to be healthy on that. And I didn't eat enough. Once I figured that out, I've never been hungry. I never think, oh, I'm hungry, but I better not eat now, or better wait a couple of hours. I feed myself, and I also feed myself my nutrition too, because sometimes you can get the right amount of calories for your body size, for your nutritional. For your, to fit how much activity you have. Like if you're, you need more. If you're very active, you need less. But Also, too, to be satisfied, you have to feel those nutritional, like all those like minerals and vitamins and nutrients that you need to get. Because if you're just getting, like, say, if you're shooting for 3,000 calories, if you're just getting 3,000 empty calories and you're not getting a lot of the things that you do need, your body's still going to be hungry, and it's going to, it's going to just want to keep eating because it has but it actually needs those specific things. Something else I figured out too, like I say, I'm jumping around a lot. This is just, something I just thought I'd have a loose talk on today. When I say this is a solo journey also too, I remember a couple of times I did videos on this, it's been 6 years or so more ago, where I was talking about raw vegan community and finding raw vegan community, and maybe even like setting up a living space of raw vegans. No, no shade at anybody, because I'm a weird dude myself. I spend a lot of time by myself, but I don't have a community. I have some people that I admire, like I'm good friends with Nate and Melissa of Raw Food Romance. There's some other people, like the people that I've met at Woodstock, that I like, but I don't really have that peer group. I've never really found a community or a group of raw vegans, high raw vegans, whatever you want to say, that I really like, because there's just too much crazy, pardon my language, just too much crazy shit, and just too much extreme this and that. And I mean, also too, like a lot of these little side dishes that go with it, like weird beliefs that raw vegans have, not to deal with food, but just I don't know where they come from. So I think that would almost be a nightmare unless I screened very, very much and got just the 6 or 7 people that I really already know and I know I could probably live with. But I figured, I figured out fairly early on that I can join groups, I can participate in other areas in social media to scratch that itch of just being, interacting with people. But so I don't do a lot. I don't really do Facebook groups very much. There's 1 or 2 that I pop into every once in a while. I try to just constantly educate myself on this, but once again, like I say, I can't necessarily go and say, okay, I do this, everything that I do this because A, B, C, and D. It's just kind of been like this going down a long road. And it's like, okay, when I first started, I'm like, okay, work on this. You work on this for a year or 2 and you figure something else out. And you add that in and you experiment. You see how it feels in your body. And you just kind of keep moving methodically forward. And I've paid attention, and this is, once again, I don't take joy in the people that but I've noticed the people that have just totally gone away from eating raw vegan, and most of them, they'll get so angry at the lifestyle, they go away from being vegan, and it's because they were doing it in such a crazy way. And they weren't eating. I was about to say they weren't eating right, but they just weren't eating. They were restricting themselves. They were doing constant fast and feast and just listen. I know the people that are all about the cleansing and the detox don't like when I talk about this, and I'm sure, yeah, we do cleanse our body, we do detox when we come to this lifestyle. But those 2 words right there, you've got to be very careful when people start talking about that, because it gets to be an obsession. And there's just way too much obsession in food in general, whether it's the whole food plant-based lifestyle, even if it's people that aren't vegan. Like if you just look around, if this weekend, go look around on Instagram and look at things that aren't even vegan. Look at however people eat. There's just always there's people arguing because there's I'm trying to prove that I'm right and you're not, and yeah, it's just real. Everything's obsessive out there, and I don't like obsessive. I think when you're too focused on something, and I think when, sometimes I don't get this very much because of the type people that tend to follow me, but sometimes I'll be going through other people's food on Instagram, And you've got these people, and I'll notice that they do it more than once, that are just obsessed with every detail, every ingredient. They're the food police. Somebody will do a recipe and they'll go down the line, oh, you know that ingredient right there, blah, 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 blah. And they give you this little, thing, and everybody's, I picture everybody rolling their eyes with me. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of keep doing what I'm doing. I'm rather unaffected by anything on social media, good or bad. I don't want it to be like that. Like I heard a comedian that has a podcast, and I've actually heard him say a number of times, like, if you're really if you're really doing what you should be doing, if you're in your zone, you don't really pay that much attention to negative comments or criticism or people telling you unsolicited advice, but you also don't get caught up in people telling you how great you are, or yeah, you're doing this right, or this is perfect, or just kind of blowing smoke up your ass. So you just kind of have to block out everything from everybody else, negative and positive. Put your head down, figure out what works for you, and be an individual. Be an individual, especially when it comes to our body and comes to our health. And I don't care, once again, let me double down and say that. I don't care if you eat diametrically different than me. Make your own decisions, know why you're doing it. Don't do it to be in a group or to be able to commiserate and talk with people. Do it for what you believe within you is the best thing for your body and the best thing for feeding your body. And yeah, I guess I've kind of harped on that the whole video, so I'll finish with that. That is the moral of the story. You are the one. Yes, you're going to take in a lot of information. You need to read some books. You need to watch some videos. You need to do some research for yourself online. But in the end, you need to make the decision. You don't need to be bullied into the decision. You need to make it for the right reasons, and that's your health. So enough said. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful weekend. I might do one this weekend or not. If not, see you Monday. Peace.